Okay, hey guys. This morning, as part of my workout at the park, I decided to put on the bad gloves and practice the choy foot techniques against the trees. And I'm pretty accustomed to shadow boxing and stuff against the trees. But this morning I kind of overdid it. I probably went 45 minutes to an hour with all those power punches, and I ended up with swollen hands. They're not, you can zoom in on there, they're not like, I didn't break any tendons or anything like that, but I just ended up with my hands a little more swollen than I thought I was going to. Usually they don't, if I'm being careful, I don't end up with swollen knuckles at all. And on a not careful day I might end up with a little bit of swelling somewhere. But this morning I got both of my hands are swollen. So Sifu has introduced that Chinese medicine as oil to use on your hands when you got swellings and sore joints and that kind of thing. I have another thing I wanted to introduce, something that you can just make at home, and this is called Balm of Gilead. And what you do is those same trees that I was hitting, those poplar trees and cottonwood trees, in the winter you take the buds off of them, and you don't have to take it from any part of the tree itself. You can wait for a storm to come through or something and knock down some branches that have buds on it, and then you collect the buds. You want to get them right in the middle of winter. So I have several jars of this Balm of Gilead that I use, or that I made from the buds from last winter, and I have probably 4 jars full that I haven't tapped into yet, and then one that I just keep in the kitchen and use when I want to put something on my hands. And it's got all of these poplars, cottonwoods, aspens, willow, they're all related trees, and they have natural anti-inflammatory and painkiller in them. It's the same stuff that's used to make aspirin. In fact, that's where originally aspirin originates from. So you put the buds in a clean mason jar, and then you put a vegetable oil, fill it up with a vegetable oil, and then you just cap it with the ring of the cap and the paper towel, and you sit it to just leach all those healing properties out of those buds. And most people let it go for 6 months to a year, and these are now probably 6 months old or so. So it's already good to go as far as the Balm of Gilead goes. You can use it as is for putting on your swellings and putting on your sore joints. But I wanted to try something different since I've got a lot of extra, and winter's coming around soon again, and I'll be able to get more buds and start another batch. What I want to do today is I want to take the buds out, and then I'm going to put in, and this is totally experimental, I'm going to put in some willow leaves, some willow bark, and some bergamot. Bergamot is like a really high menthol species of the mint family. It's what I call a manikapi, and I normally use it for colds, but I was thinking that if I let it soak in this Balm of Gilead oil for a little bit, it'll probably leave me with a medicinal oil that has a nice cooling effect. And if I was thinking ahead of time this summer, I would have probably grabbed some yarrow as well, because yarrow is a plant that grows here and in all over North America, or in the northern hemisphere, even around the world. And it's also really famous for its anti-inflammatory properties. In fact, it's the plant that supposedly the Greek warrior Achilles used to use for himself and his soldiers when they had even broken bones, but certainly any like hurt joints and ligaments and things like that. So I'll just reuse the same jar. All it's had in there is the Balm of Gilead this whole time. So just clean off the lid a little bit and shove this stuff down in there, and then replace that oil into the jar. And this I'll probably let sit to another 6 months to a year before I can tell you whether or not it panned out and actually has a cooling effect, but I suspect it will. And adding the willow is just going to make it all the more intense in terms of its having its pain relieving qualities. I also grew a lot of super peppers in my garden this summer. Super peppers are small, really intense, like it's hard to eat just a nibble of a super pepper. They're so hot. And what I'm thinking is, with one of my other jars of Balm of Gilead, I'm going to infuse some super pepper, so then I'll have a cool balm, and then I'll also have a hot balm, and then I'll also keep, jars of the normal balm as well. So I've put all the plant material in there, and we'll replace the oil. I'm sure these cottonwood buds, after having been in there 6 months, have leached out just about all that they have. So I'll replace this oil. Looks like I'm going to have to use my other jar here too. This is the jar I've been just using. You don't need a whole lot, just a little dab will do ya when you're putting it on your joints. Yeah, so as long as your old paper towel is clean, you can just reuse that. Screw on the lid. And I'm going to let this sit for, like I said, 6 months to a year. Probably in 6 months I'll try it out. So that, in any case, is a lesson in how to make Balm of Gilead, which is a traditional medicine that's pretty much all around the northern hemisphere, and how to experiment on top of the Balm of Gilead. I'll let you know in 6 months whether or not we really got a cooling oil. So that's my introduction to that.